Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Swipe Up, episode 211. This is the show where I share my opinions on current events. And here's my trigger warning for all of the people watching that might be Republicans or Christians, Christian nationalists, fascists, or maybe you're just an Elon Musk simp and don't really categorize yourself as anything, even though probably align a lot with Nazis. If you vote the same as Nazis, this is a trigger warning for you, because I know your feelings are fragile, your egos are paper thin, and anything I say might cause you to be very angry in my comments, and I want to take your feelings under consideration and give you this warning up front that you may be triggered about my opinions on things that are going on in the world. So this is your warning. Don't cry in my comments. I urge you to just move along if you feel you might be triggered. Let's move on to our first story. Let's get it started, I should say, with our first story. The most important story, I would say, the most important thing, especially for this country, America. The election doesn't start on November 8th. It ends on November 8th. And this episode comes out, I believe, a day or two before November 8th. So I would highly recommend, if you have not yet, casting your votes for wherever you are for the midterms. Do not sleep on this votes. Voting does matter. If anybody says voting doesn't matter, then they are just in support of right-wing people. They're in support of fascism. They want to encourage a dictatorship of Donald Trump, whether they believe so or not. But I think it's very important that voting does happen. Maybe you live in a state where people overwhelmingly support a particular side, but let me tell you, as somebody who lives in California, a very blue state, there are things that this state of California, the fifth or fourth largest economy in the world, right? Bigger economy than Germany. I think we're the fourth largest economy. There's still a lot of things that should be available that aren't in this state, that could easily be available with the amount of money that exists. As far as free health care, the homeless situation shouldn't exist in this country or in this state. So there's a lot of things that should still be voted for, and a direction we should be headed towards, because despite California being a very blue state, it's not nearly as progressive as I would hope for it to be, which, for those that may not be paying attention, I am a very massive left-leaning person. I would say the majority of Democrats that are in office are far too centrist for me. I am a far left person. I think we should be adopting far more socialist applications to society than we currently do. I hate capitalism. I am pro-worker, not pro-business owner or CEO, despite the fact that I am a small business owner. I think workers in this country are treated like garbage. I think the fact that they're attacking unions is a very major sign of the type of threat unions have to actually doing good for the people that are being just taken advantage of left and right. So, to give you an idea of what I'm voting for and what I'm very fearful of, I'm very fearful that, whether it's this election or the next election, that it's a matter of time. With the amount of momentum that is put behind the conservative side and their propaganda machine, the fact that there are giant organizations that all regurgitate the same propaganda, whether it's Fox News, whether it's the Joe Rogan Experience, whether it's Elon Musk now owning Twitter and being able to shape the ideas and stories that are being pushed through and tweets and accounts that are promoted. Facebook and all they've done to spread misinformation, whether it's something like InfoWars and Alex Jones. Like, there is a lot of momentum and a lot of big names with big audiences all regurgitating the same propaganda that is in every way leading us towards a fascist dictatorship, which they would love for Trump to be a dictator. They don't care about democracy. All they do is push for everything that would only benefit the wealthy people and the CEOs and billionaires and soon to be trillionaires, I'm sure. And it's disgusting. It really, I see that momentum as a massive threat, and things are only going to get worse. What we've seen with the Supreme Court, only going to get worse if elections are denied, if reality is continued to be denied. Then it won't matter what happens, because when they start denying reality, then nothing matters. Then voting will not matter, right? Republicans don't want votes to matter. They don't want you to have a voice. They want to have ultimate control. And it's insane. So make sure you go out and you vote before November 8th. Vote early. If possible, vote. Make sure you do it. Very important.
Let's take a little break from the show to promote.
If you sign up for Inspired Disorder Plus for 1 year specifically, you get a free painting. So a year subscription of Inspired Disorder Plus is $50. The painting, the majority of them are $100. So it's a $150 value signing up for 1 year of Inspired Disorder Plus. So not only do you get a free painting, but you also are subscribed to Plus for a year, which means that you can binge this show, The Ray Taylor Show, ad-free, the full week, ad-free, available on Monday. You also get discounts that are members-only pricing type of deals. All of the podcasts that I've produced in the past, close to 20 different podcasts I've produced, hundreds of episodes. There's also my personal blog. You can ask me anything if you want to start podcasting or get into art. All of that stuff available in addition to a free painting when you sign up to 1 year subscription of Inspired Disorder Plus.
Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. And now let's get back to the show.
Let's move on to the second story. Kind of an example of what the momentum and the shift of America. We all heard, hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe you didn't. There was a high school football coach who lost his job for praying on the field after games to be reinstated. So this falling because Christianity is becoming the religious doctrine of this country. Religious fundamentalism is on the rise, and Christianity is the spearhead of that movement. And bringing Christianity, indoctrinating, grooming kids, brainwashing kids to follow Christianity in every way. Everybody who doesn't fall in line with their beliefs is demonized to the highest extent. Unfounded truths about all kinds of people being laid upon them for just existing. And this coach who was fired because you're not supposed to be able to bring prayer and your religion into a public school. Of course, he was brought back. He was reinstated, and he plans on doing more. As many Republicans would love for there to be the only religion taught in schools to be Christian. But at this point, they're saying it's okay it's a freedom of religion. So I'm pushing for all the Satanists, the Satan worshipers, anybody that practices Satanism, to make sure you bring your religion to school. All the teachers, let's make sure we praise Satan to help balance the Jesus freaks that are going to be encouraging the grooming of young minds into following a reboot of a religion like Christianity. I mean, there's so many older religions that Christianity just stole from. Even the holidays of Christianity are just repurposed pagan holidays. Whether it's Jesus' birthday, whether it's Easter, they're all just pagan holidays that Christianity repurposed and rebranded as their own because it suited them. Because that's what they want. They want to be. They want to act like they're the right one. And then there's all the different kinds of Christianity, but it's all ridiculous. It's all bullshit. And the fact that this teacher is going to be able to be allowed to groom kids and brainwash kids again in high school is sad. It is sad. It's ridiculous. And all the kids that won't participate, that stand their ground, they will be punished because that's the country we're turning into. We're turning into a country that is no different than, than a lot of Middle Eastern countries that are run by religious extremists, where they use religion as a tool to control people and to brutalize people and to, protect their way of life. It's disgusting. Religion has no place in government, in public schools. If I could eliminate all religions with a snap of a finger, I would be snapping like in the audience of a jazz show, right? I'm snapping like I'm at a golf tournament. I don't want to make a lot of noise, right? I would end that shit because religion, all religions, I know they do good, but damn are they used to do the most heinous shit throughout history. Religions have been used for some of the worst aspects of humanity. So, not great to see that teacher is being brought back. Let's move on to, of course, big news, the assassination attempt. Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked, violently assaulted in his home, in their home, with a hammer. Of course, the person who attacked him is a Republican terrorist, domestic terrorist. Some people say he's an extremist. I say he is just an average Republican who believes and regurgitates all the same propaganda that all Republicans do, spreading the QAnon stuff. Republican politicians have put a target on Nancy Pelosi for years, so it's not surprising that one of their members of their base followed their orders. And of course, you see right-wing people kind of celebrating the fact that he was attacked, kind of blaming them, victim blaming in a lot of ways, because they have this idea that blue states and Democrats are very soft on crime. Meanwhile, crime rates in red states are the highest. Crime rates in red cities are the highest. Like, there's no actual proof of that, but it doesn't matter. Truth does not matter for these people, right? They say whatever they want to say that suits their narrative. Doesn't have to be true, right? They can believe that vaccines don't work and masks don't work and nobody actually died from COVID and Trump is still president and JFK is going to come back from the dead to run. I don't know. Like, they just believe in whatever they want to believe in because truth means nothing to them. And it's not surprising. Now, do I like Nancy Pelosi? No. I'm not a fan. I know she's, one of the top politicians in the Democratic Party. But, I don't like that she profits off of insider trading. I don't like the fact that her husband invests in companies that our government, kind of gives him the heads up on. They've made a lot of money in ways that should be illegal. It should be very illegal for sitting elected politicians to profit off of their insider knowledge of what laws are going to be passed and what things are going to go through. And I think that's disgusting. But I'm not like a cheerleader, despite the fact that I'm very left-leaning. I'm a progressive. I am a socialist in a lot of instances. I'm not a blind cheerleader. Like, definitely there's some Democrats that are no different than the Trump fans that fly flags. Like, there are definitely cheerleaders on the left. But there's definitely far more of that cheerleading going on the right, where they will blindly worship whoever is in charge on their side, regardless. Does not matter. But yeah. Like, if this happened to, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband and somebody broke in and tried to kill him with a hammer, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene would blame this on Pelosi, as she does. She's called for the assassination of Pelosi on multiple videos that she's later pulled down from her website or from her social media. Like, Pelosi is aside from, like, Hunter Biden's laptop, like, there's a few targets that individuals have on their backs because of conservative politicians. And if this happened to a conservative, things would be insane. They would be calling for the executions of, not like they're not already, but calling for the executions of so many, like, liberal politicians. Like, oh, like if somebody from Antifa killed a Nazi, right? Who just happened to killed like Jeannie Thomas, right? Killed Justin Thomas's wife. That's a wackadoo, right? Super right wing, involved in January 6th. Like, if she was attacked by an Antifa guy, right? Which is very, like, 4% of left extremists do things where, like, 90% of right wing people are responsible for a lot of damage and crime. Like, if that happened, it would be insane. It would be insane. Like, there was more attention paid when a gunman reported himself for being near Kavanaugh's house, right? They got round-the-clock protection just for a guy being near his house and calling the police on himself, right? So, didn't do anything. Did absolutely nothing. And it was a night and day response compared to what's happening with Nancy Pelosi's husband. And you have people like the owner of Twitter pushing just fabricated bullshit. Just as all right-wingers do. It takes them like a day, usually takes them a day or two to figure out what propaganda spin they're going to push forward. And the one that they're pushing forward is laughably ridiculous. But that just means it's going to be successful because most of them are. So, yeah, I don't know. He seemed like he's doing I don't know. He's recovering. I don't know what the extent of his damage was. They caught the guy, and he's, of course, right-wing in every way. He is the model Republican, right? The party that literally celebrated a child who murdered multiple protesters, right? They celebrated Kyle Rittenhouse for murdering protesters, right? They love this. They love when their base follows their orders, right? Because they can't do it themselves, right? It has to be like they have to enrage their base, and then they have to pray and hope that they actually act on what they want to happen, right? And usually they fail, right? This guy failed at his assassination attempt. They all failed at trying to overthrow the government. Like, they're very horrible at succeeding in anything. But if enough of them keep trying, it's eventually going to happen, you know?
Let's take a little break from the show to promote gift certificates.
If you want to purchase artwork for somebody, you have an art lover in your life, and you think they would like my art, but you don't know what painting to get them. I have over 2,000 original pieces of art for sale in my store, along with shirts and prints and other things. So I can understand that being a bit daunting if you're trying to buy something for somebody else. Give them the gift certificate, and then they can go to my website, inspireddisorder.com, and they can buy whatever paintings they want. They can buy whatever prints they want. They can buy t-shirts. They can buy hats. They can buy all the different merch. Gift certificates, which are available currently at inspireddisorder.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
Let's move on to another one of the model Republican figureheads. Elon Musk takes over Twitter and fires the CEO. Bunch of the executives either were fired or left. Elon Musk has already used his new platform to push the false narrative that Pelosi's husband was attacked by a lover. Like it's so wacky. But that's Elon Musk. That's who he is now. He's a Republican. And he's leaning full Republican, just like when Rogan figured out, when he realized that he was so far away from being a liberal like he thought he was, that he is just full on conservative now. That's Elon Musk, right? He's free speech other than all the people that he blocks on the platform that he owns. He's for, and the interesting thing, once he took over, by the way, bringing a sink in to illustrate a pun for his he is dumb. This guy is stupid. And it's amazing how many Elon Musk simps are out there think he is like God. They think he is the most brilliant person ever, as if PayPal is a great service, as if he invented the electric car, as if he didn't come from wealth, right? As if he was actually self-made, right? As if he didn't use government money to start SpaceX, right? As if he actually did all these things on his own, which he didn't. Like the only reason he has Twitter is because he wasn't able to pull out, right? He wanted to buy Twitter, he's like as a threat, but because of the contract, he wasn't able to actually buy out, and they were forcing him to go through with it. So who knows the money he used, right? Because he doesn't have that money. He's not like flush with cash. He's not liquid. All of his money is tied up in stocks. So he was forced. Because he's stupid, he was forced to buy Twitter, which he did not want to. Tried to get away from it. And one company's already pulled advertising from Twitter. I am planning on leaving Twitter. I just requested my data. I got to download it. And then I will probably just make my accounts dormant, right? Until he sells. I don't know how long he's going to hold on to Twitter, right? It's a valuable property. But if it goes downhill the way it is, like the use of the N-word skyrocketed 500% when the news of him, like it is so fast. Twitter is turning into the next Truth Social or Parler or even some of the darkest places of Reddit, right? All the most hateful people are celebrating Elon Musk, right? Those are the people that he aligns with. It's just ridiculous. And like, cry. I make a comment on any post about Elon Musk, criticizing him in the smallest, and people will write paragraph after paragraph of how much they love Elon and how wrong I am and how brilliant he is and how either he bought it to destroy Twitter, which doesn't make any sense, why he would spend $44 billion to just throw that money away. And also, like, I remember commenting, first there was news of him laying off 75% of Twitter, which apparently that's changed. He scaled that back, even though he is firing a bunch of people, specifically firing people before I think the 1st of November, which would have been a bonus for them. They would have gotten some bonus Twitter stock. So he's making sure so they doesn't have to pay that out to him to fire him before that because he's such a great guy. But when he said he was going to lay off 75%, like people were acting like, oh, it's brilliant that he's doing that. Like I would love to know the company that became successful after gutting 75% of its workers? Like, what business ran better after eliminating 75%? I mean, he's definitely getting people out and then replacing people that are aligned with him. So who knows how many people, or he'll work it out to where he hires people for way less. He'll structure it in a way that people who work for Twitter will be just horribly compensated for their work. But it's insane. Like, the fans of Elon Musk and Joe Rogan are both the dumbest fucking people. Like, passionately stupid. And I don't know. I'm kind of bummed, but also whatever. Step away from Twitter. Try it again. I did it for a while when the news first came out, and then it's like, oh, he tried to pull out. I went back, and then now he is official. It's official, and people are getting fired, and businesses are leaving, and it's like, I don't want to support, right? Anybody that is still on Twitter, you are the product of Twitter, right? You are the reason Twitter makes money, is because of its people that use its platform. So if a bunch of people leave the platform, that means Twitter is fucked, right? And I hate these people that say they're not staying with Twitter because of their numbers, but they're staying on Twitter because they have an audience, right? Your audience is your numbers, right? People who I like their accounts. I like their accounts on TikTok, like this Tizzy guy. Great videos. But he's trying to convince people to stay on Twitter, like, you're going to be doing good by staying on Twitter, right? And he doesn't care about his followers. He just cares that the stories, the videos he posts get traction and can help people, right? But the only reason they're able to do that is because he has his followers and he doesn't want to lose any followers. Doesn't make any sense. He's the product. He's making free content for Twitter. He is adding value to Twitter by him staying there. Everybody who has a large account on Twitter, if you stay on Twitter, you are adding value to Twitter, and you are only putting money in Elon Musk's pocket, right? You're not going to take them down by staying there. You will be able to eliminate value from that property if you leave, right? Build an audience somewhere else. So, and I don't get a whole lot of traction on Twitter anyway. It's pretty much just where I go to talk shit. So I'll just have to channel that shit talking through this podcast, through my other social media presences, put out my personal blog, maybe a newsletter, who knows, but yeah. Not happy. Not happy with Elon Musk and all of that nonsense. Or Twitter, whatever. I don't care. And if maybe I'll go back, like somebody wants to buy at Ray Taylor, that'll be available, right? Just need to download my data, delete all my tweets, and just lock it down, make it dormant, see what happens. But let's do some shout outs and get out of here, shall we? Shout out to Now This News, shout out to ABC News, shout out Vice News, and shout out Motherboard Vice. But most importantly, shout out to you.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.